What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Triple Money Event Week, as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for October 28th through November 3rd, 2021. And the first thing I want to mention is that the Halloween content is continuing from last week with the addition of the highly anticipated peyote plants, so they're finally back. But anyways, the current prize ride for this week is the Obey Tailgater S. This car is primarily based on the 2020 Audi RS3. To get this car for free, you have to place top 2 in the street race series for 4 days in a row. And here we go again with the days in a row requirement, something I'm personally not a fan of in the community as well. To force a player who wants a car to get online for 4 real days in a row when most people can't is just a bit of a nuisance, but is what it is. Anyways, this car is in the sedans class and is very quick in that class. However, the $100,000 Shafter V12 is still the king for sedan races. Now, the Tailgater S has a normal price of about $1.5 million and a trade price of about $1.1 million. So, whether or not that 4 days in a row thing is worth it to you is all based on how much you really want the car. Now, in terms of test drive vehicles for this week, we have the Comet S2, the Emperor Vector, and for the first time ever for the test ride, a non-tuner DLC vehicle, the Pariah. So this might suggest that the prize ride next week will most likely be the Pariah. So I guess that pretty much answers everyone's concerns about what they were going to do when they ran out of tuner DLC vehicles to put on the prize ride. So I guess next week the Pariah will most likely be on the prize ride. Now, in terms of the casino podium vehicle, we have the Albany Lurcher. So this vehicle was primarily based on the 1967 Cadillac funeral coach. It normally costs about $650,000, which is decently expensive, but not like the $1 million cars we're used to seeing on here. In terms of performance, it is in the muscle car class and isn't too great as you might expect, but there's just something about wheeling a hearse, which is just a ton of fun, and the added cool factor of the Frankenstein at the back coming out of the coffin. So, is the Lurcher worth attempting to win by spinning the lucky wheel over and over this week? Well, if you don't own one, I'd highly recommend getting it for this week, because once this event week ends, if you don't own it, it will disappear from the website for you, and you have to wait till next year to acquire it again. Once you own it, it's yours, and it will actually stay on the website for you all year. So, starting off with the property discounts, we have 40% off the arcades, as well as 40% off the upgrades and renovations for them as well. So if for some reason you don't own an arcade yet and have always wanted to, here's your chance. Moving on to vehicle discounts, we have 30% off the Growler. Now this car is one of the top 5 vehicles for tuner races, and at this price, especially for a car with all that crazy customization and stuff from the tuner DLC, I think it's honestly a very good deal. Moving on to the 7 San Andreas website, we have 35% off the Sanctus, which is the Ghost Rider bike I customized in my last past DLC customization video. Now this bike is free for Prime Gaming members this week, so it really makes no sense to buy it at this price unless for some reason you can't get Prime Gaming to work. Moving on to the Warstock website, we have 40% off the Duke of Death, bringing the price down to just under $400,000. Now for me, you will see that it's free, and that's only for returning players from PS3 and 360. So if you're not a returning player from those old consoles, it will cost you $400,000 for this week. Now the Duke of Death is usable in muscle car races and has the highest pushing power out of all the muscle cars in the class, which is pretty cool because it's useful for some situations. Moving on to the Arena War website, we have 50% off select Arena War vehicles. However, it is only the Nightmare variants, which is a bit annoying because those are pretty much the ugliest ones, at least in my opinion, or for most people, their least favorite ones. In terms of login items, you can get this very cool shark camo livery for the Toreador for free, which I think is pretty awesome. In terms of Triple Money, we have Triple Money NRP on the Bunker Slasher, Diamond Slasher, and the Missile Base Slasher adversary modes, which is pretty nice. Now, in terms of Double Money, we have Double Money NRP on the same ones repeating from last week, which is Alien Survivals, And the Halloween themed adversary modes come out to play, Condemned, and the original Slasher as well. So just super awesome that these are back, and they are a ton of fun to do with friends. Moving on to the Prime Gaming discounts or Prime Gaming members only. I'll leave instructions in the pinned comment on how to become a Prime Gaming member if you aren't one already. So we have the same ones as last week, which are 70% off the Z-Type. Now this car is in the Sports Classics class and still till this day has the highest top speed in that class, which is pretty impressive. Next up, we have 100% off the LCC Sanctus, making it absolutely free, which I talked about earlier. And lastly, we have 70% off the Bezra Jet, which is just a very good deal for a pretty quick jet. Also remember guys, just for logging in this week as a Prime Gaming member, you'll get a free 100,000 as usual. Again guys, if you don't save a discount on the vehicles I mentioned, it's because you don't have your Prime Gaming account linked to your social club. Again, all the information on how to do that is down below in the pinned comment. And lastly, we have, of course, the RC Bandito Time Trial Construction Site 2. This week's normal time trial is down Chiliad. I highly recommend either the Batty 801, BF 400, or Sanchez for that time trial. This is by far the hardest time trial, at least in my opinion, so if you're not too great at these, I definitely stay away from this one. And this week's premium race is the Muscle Car Race Muscle In. I highly recommend either the Dominator ASP, Yosemite, Vapid Clique, or the Pizwazzer Dominator for that race. Every Friday I post a guide on how to easily beat the time trials and premium race, so stay tuned for that if you're new. Anyways guys, hope this was helpful. This Halloween event week is honestly very good in my opinion because of the variety of different things you can do, the tons of adversary modes you can do with friends, and of course all the Halloween free mode events repeating from last week, which I think are very cool. And next week everything will go back to normal, no more Halloween content available to buy, so if there's one of those 3 vehicles you want, whether it's the Frankenstein, Lurcher, or the Sanctus, make sure you get it this week before the event week ends. Especially if you haven't tried any of the new free mode events like Phantom Car, which is the Christine car that tries to chase you and kill you, or the slashers with the knives that try to kill you in a free mode session as well. Just a ton of fun. It's something you definitely gotta experience in the game. And according to Tez on Twitter, there's going to be a ton of UFOs that are going to spawn at the same time this weekend on Saturday and Sunday, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Now there is one missing item that the community is asking about, and that is the Halloween parachute that was found in the files from the Tuners DLC. However, it doesn't seem like it's available for this event week. However, knowing Rockstar, they might actually drop it on Halloween Day, the 31st, so we'll see if that comes into fruition. I think it will. But anyways guys, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.